What's up, YT? MHC is me. Today is Thanksgiving 2025, and I thought it was appropriate to kind of make a quick video on a project that I've been working on related to Thanksgiving for the past week or so. And this is for Thanksgiving. I call it Turkey Day OS, just kind of a little system that I use to track my recipes and then also some other things that are related to Thanksgiving. And the reason I started doing this was because I was previously using Evernote to house all my recipes and kind of like my planner for the holiday. But they've been getting really annoying with them wanting you to use their paid services. And so you get these pop ups like every 5 seconds asking you to upgrade and start using the paid service. And I just got so irritated with it that I decided to switch over to Notion. I've been using Notion for mainly taking notes and studying guides and things like that. And so I thought Notion would be kind of the perfect place to kind of move everything over. Was a little bit of a pain in the butt getting everything set up, but now that I got it all kind of configured how I want, it's actually pretty useful and I like it a lot more than what I had before in Evernote. So I just kind of wanted to do a quick walkthrough of what I have going on. This is version 1.0, so I still want to implement some other kind of useful features, like maybe like a progress tracker for the meals and things like that. Maybe some other, AI configuration or something. But for now, I think this is pretty good. And I just kind of wanted to share a little bit. So this is my dashboard that I have here. This is my Turkey Day countdown. So basically, we just had Thanksgiving today. So now it's another 51 weeks, 6 days, 2 hours, 26 minutes until Thanksgiving again. This was today's tasks, like all the things that I had to do today to get done in order for the holiday. Obviously, it being Thanksgiving, the most items that I have to get done are today, but there was other things that I got done earlier in the week that I'll kind of show you how that's all configured and how that works. And then down here, I set up just kind of some quick actions for creating like new recipes. I use a template for this, and I'll kind of explain a little bit how this works in a minute. And then adding ingredients, a new week of task, which is my week of planner, new items needed, like things that I might need for Thanksgiving, and then my cooking schedule. So the week of planner is just a little way that I manage things that I have to do that are not related to cooking. So buying fresh ingredients, picking up the turkey, anything that I need to get done in preparation outside of cooking itself, I put here. I have my missing items section here, so anything that I need. Actually, ended up getting these items. So when you check the little boxes here, oh, actually, that's the one thing I don't like is this pops up, so I have to actually do this. Um, if I go here and I unlock the page and then I click the box, then it works. So I wish it would do that when the page is locked, but I'll see if maybe there's some workaround for that. But this is my missing item section for anything that I have missing. And then my cooking videos, these are just kind of like reference videos that I might need to reference here and there. These are videos that I've kind of just collected over the years. And these are just 5 videos here. And then you click show all, and then you get a bunch of other videos. So anything that I find that I'm interested in, you can just kind of like reference here. And I can obviously, add more as time goes on or remove some or whatever. But it's kind of nice just to have that all here where I can easily see it. And then my Thanksgiving recipes are all stored here in a gallery setting at the bottom of my page. And then other quick links to my databases, which are all here in my quick links section. So I already know that there are some things that I kind of want to change, but I'll worry about that like later on. These are the recipes that I have, descriptions with the instructions. I configured all these to follow the same format, so they all the recipes, and that's just something I did with ChatGPT. I just kind of gave it a template for how I want the recipes structured, and then all the recipes follow the same type of format. And then any videos that I might want to reference related to this, I can find here. I could probably create a separate like link for that, which I might do, but for now that's fine. And then I'll explain what this include this year does, and then view details. I know one of the things I want to change is here. Like I want to change, this is a number field. I might want to change this to something else because it's kind of hard to, you know, 14, 1440 minutes. I might want to switch that and just kind of have that configured a different way. So maybe it'll just say the number of hours instead of just putting the minutes. And then whether or not this is something I could make ahead, and then how many days ahead of time I can make it. So the way it works, this is kind of a cool part of it, is I don't think I need the make ahead anymore. I might be able to remove that because I was using that with a previous kind of configuration that I had in mind. But definitely the include this year is pretty cool, because the way that works is anything I have a master schedule, kind of like assuming that I make every single thing on the menu. I have a master schedule which outlines when to do what. So, when do you start prepping the turkey? When do you start making, the turkey stock? When do you start, the candied yams or whatever? And it kind of just outlines day by day what you do and when you do it. So let's say there's a year where maybe I'm only making 2 things or 3 things or 4 things. I just check the box for the things that I'm making that year, and then it populates the schedule based on those items. So it's only going to show me what to do for the things that I selected to be included for the year. So if you look at my schedule for this year, so I'll show you really quick. If I go to my cooking schedule, for example, candied yams wasn't selected on the cooking schedule. So therefore, there's nothing on my schedule that's related to candied yams. So if I look for this year's plan is basically everything that I selected, every recipe that I selected to be included this year. So candied yams was not selected for this year. So therefore, there's no recipe here related to candied yams because that box wasn't checked. So it doesn't include it. But if I had selected candied yams, then it would have inserted that, and it would have put the time of when I need to do what related to that recipe. So only the things that I select to be included this year, and all of these items here were selected, will be included. And then I also have a field where if there's something that I have to do that's just not related to a recipe, there's a formula that I actually use for this. The formula knows that if this field is blank, then it'll include it because it knows that, okay, there's something here that I need to include. It's just not related to a recipe. So I'm just going to, add it anyway. So that's all part of the formula. But that's kind of cool. That was one of the things that took a little while to figure out. But once I got that, it kind of works really, really well. So it's the configuration that's kind of the pain in the butt. But now moving forward, everything is already planned out. So next year, everything that I picked to be made that year is going to be really just, click and go. And then I'm going to know exactly what to do and when to do it. All Meals is the full planner. So this is like everything. So this is like the master schedule. So this is assuming that I'm going to make every single recipe on my list, and it outlines what to do and when to do it. So this all starts, say, for example, from the 24th, when I can maybe prepare the brine, and then the cranberry sauce, which I do on the 24th, and then the things that I do on the 27th, like cube the bread for the stuffing, dry the bread in the oven, things like that. So that's kind of cool. I like that a lot. That was something that I wanted to make sure was added. And then the today's tasks is, again, this is only showing me all the things that I have to do today for the items that I said I was going to make this year. So this is only going to show those things. So that was pretty cool. I like that a lot. And the recipes, I want to reconfigure a little bit because I was trying to do something with the recipe ingredients. This is showing me the things, obviously, that are needed for the recipe. But I was trying to do something where it could take the things that I select that I need and then kind of create like a shopping list of, okay, here are the things that you need to get. So for ingredients, I think it was so these are the totals. Let me go to so I created this one called shopping list, which is telling me here's everything you need based on the recipes that you're going to make this year. So you have to make sure, I'm going to need, 20 cups of water for the brine and 4 slices of bacon, but it says 3 turkey neck packages, which isn't really accurate. So there's some reconfiguration I have to do on this part. For now it's fine, but I definitely kind of want to rework this a little bit because it's not quite how I want it. That's one of the something that I think I'll focus on for version 2.0. But it's kind of like the makings are here. It's just not working exactly the way I want it to work. So that's something that I'll put on the agenda for the next iteration. Pantry and equipment checklist. So this is where it's showing me the items that I need. This is something that I can just kind of run through every year. So there's always things that you want to make sure that you have ready to go for the holidays. So you're not kind of like searching last minute for, example, flour, sugar. I use batteries for my thermometer, disposable trays that I use to make certain dishes, trash bags, paper towels, you know. So these are all things that you kind of just want to make sure you have on hand. I run through that list, check my pantry, check, anything else that I might need to add to this list, and then if it's not checked, then it gets added to the missing items list. And this is just an ongoing list, so I can edit this list however I want. I can add to it. For now, this is kind of like the main things I wanted to make sure for this year, but obviously next year there'll probably be a few more things I might want to add, just depending on what I'm doing. And then anything marked missing would be showing up here. So we got everything we needed, so nothing's on that list. The week of planner is the things that I know I needed to do prior to the holidays. So picking up the turkey at Whole Foods, using the map function, so it gives me the exact location. And then I know I can integrate some kind of like reminders or notifications, which that's something I want to do here. So for anything that's maybe, for example, I want to next year pick up a honey baked ham. I know I'm going to have to pick that up at a certain location at a certain time, on a certain date. So integrating, notifications, reminders, that's something that I'll want to work on for version 2.0 as well. But for now, this is basic. It's doing what I needed to do, so that's fine. But I like that. And other than that, I mean, that's basically it. So pretty straightforward. I'm working on another Notion planner related to kind of a study guide that I'm using for my Series 65 that I'm taking in, I think, February, March of this year. And I'll share that in the next video. But yeah, let me know what you think. My Notion planner, happy to share it if anyone's interested. And that's it. All right. Thanks, everyone.